Hi, guys. Good afternoon, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in today's video, I will be doing another edition of How to Get Excited For. This time, I will be telling you guys how to get excited and ready for my number one most anticipated film of the year, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. The movie hits theaters in less than a week. I meant to do this video on Friday, but it's been a very crazy, fun-filled weekend for me. I finally got a chance to do this and sit down and upload this video, so that's what I'm doing now. So thank you for bearing with me. Now, before I begin, of course, I may be referencing I will definitely be referencing the two other MonsterVerse films, Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island. I will be referencing specific scenes from both of them, so if you've not seen either film and you want to, do not keep watching or listening to this movie, because I will be revealing some pretty big spoilers from both films, so you have been warned. That being said, let's get ready for Godzilla King of the Monsters. To answer everybody's question, yes, this is the sequel to the 2014 film that was directed by Gareth Edwards, the guy who gave us one of the best Star Wars films ever, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Thank you, Mr. Edwards. This was the film that starred Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and Elizabeth Olsen, and Ken Watanabe, Sally Hawkins, and many others. This is a film from about 5 years ago, and King of the Monsters picks up almost like about 5 years after the events of the first film, so that it is a chronological time jump there. So that version of Godzilla is the one that we will be seeing in King of the Monsters and in next year's highly anticipated film, Godzilla vs. Kong. So if you want to know which movie to watch first, or like to get yourself primed and ready for King of the Monsters, it's Godzilla right here, the 2014 version. I happen to have it on DVD in my enormous library, so here you go. Now I have another suggestion and recommendation for you guys. There's actually a film you could watch that I felt like this movie directly sets up Godzilla King of the Monsters, if only for a few short seconds and a beautiful, delicious tease. And that was the post-credit scene for the movie Kong Skull Island. This came out about 2 years ago. This introduced us to a new version of King Kong. This is the version of Kong we will be seeing going up against Godzilla in less than a year from now. Now, in this film, he's about 100 feet tall, and it's implied he's a youngling or a teenager. So by the time we meet him and the time we see him again, which there have been like almost 50 or 47 years since we have seen him, he'll be much older, bigger, taller, grizzled, and seasoned. And then he'll be going up against Godzilla, which is very exciting. But the post-credit scene for this film basically teases Godzilla King of the Monsters when Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson's characters are brought to a Monarch interrogation or debriefing room, and Houston Brooks, played by Corey Hawkins, and the woman with him basically tell him there's more monsters out there. Kong is not the only king, as Corey Hawkins says. And then we see cave drawings of Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon. And then the film ends with a dramatic cave painting showing a battle between Godzilla and King Ghidorah from way, way back in the day. And then it cuts to black, and the film ends with Godzilla's trademark roar. And that alone is teasing not only Godzilla King of the Monsters, but Godzilla vs. Kong coming out next year. So if you want the movie that best sets up King of the Monsters, you want to watch the film that directly or indirectly sets it up, I would highly recommend Kong Skull Island. You can also watch Godzilla 2014 because King of the Monsters is the direct sequel to this film. However, I feel like the movie that really sets up King of the Monsters was Kong Skull Island, but that's just one man's opinion. Other films you can watch to get yourself primed and in the mood for King of the Monsters would be going way back now to some of my favorite Toho monster films. One of them is Godzilla vs. Gigan. In this film, the premise is aliens summon outer space monsters, Ghidorah and Gigan, the guy with the big red eye and the big hook for hands thing. They summon them to Earth to take over the planet, but Godzilla and his longtime ally Anguirus, the big armadillo/ankylosaurus type kaiju, come to Earth's defense, and it's a great four-way battle between Godzilla and Anguirus versus Gigan and Ghidorah, and Godzilla really gets into it with both Ghidorah and Gigan. All of the monsters take a turn at taking jabs at one another, but it's a pretty memorable fight scene between Ghidorah and Godzilla in that particular particular film. Another film that would be perfect to get yourself ready for King of the Monsters is the film from 1964 called Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster. This is the film where I believe Ghidorah is introduced to the Toho cinematic universe for the very first time, I think. In this film, Mothra in her larvae form actually convinces Godzilla and Rodan to stop fighting each other and team up with her so the three of them can tag team and take down Ghidorah. And at first, Godzilla and Rodan refuse to do so, but then they change their minds when they are impressed with Mothra's courage and bravery when she tries to take on Ghidorah by herself, and that inspires the two of them to say, okay, let's stop fighting, help Mothra, and let's beat this guy, let's kick this guy's ass and get back to it. And it's a great three-on-one fight scene between Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra, all three of them taking on Ghidorah at the exact same time. Hopefully, if there is a God, we will get a scene like that in Godzilla King of the Monsters for this upcoming film, because that would be ideal, please. So, I only recommend that movie because it features 4 of our confirmed monsters we'll get in King of the Monsters. So Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster features the 4 aforementioned monsters I already mentioned. And then let's not forget the other mystery monsters as well. And another reason why I recommended Godzilla vs. Gigan is because Anguirus is predominantly featured in that film. And I strongly believe, and I could be wrong, and I don't want to get anybody's expectations or hopes up, it's just a strong theory of mine that the monster that's raising out of the mountain with the horn on his nose and the teeth in the eyes looks a hell of a lot like Anguirus. And if it's not Anguirus, it's going to be an American ripoff or version of him with a similar or different name. Or it could be Anguirus, and they just haven't revealed it yet, because the only creatures that we got any revelation or confirmation from the rights from Toho was Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan. They could have very well easily accumulated rights to so many other monsters, and they simply haven't revealed or told us yet because they want it to be a surprise in this film. Just a theory. But just in case I'm correct and Anguirus is in King of the Monsters, no matter how big or small his role may be, Godzilla vs. Gigan would be a good film to watch to help you prepare yourself for that. And if Anguirus doesn't appear in the film, oh well, at least we'll still have some spectacular monster fights to look forward to. So guys, those are all of my recommendations on how to get excited for Godzilla King of the Monsters. Tickets are available now with showings starting this coming Thursday night, Thursday, May 30th, and then the film, of course, officially opens everywhere May 31st. And it looks like and sounds like it's going to be one epic monster-packed film, and I am tremendously excited for it. I have been looking forward to this movie for the longest time, and I simply cannot wait to see it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching another edition of How to Get Excited For. If you've got any suggestions or recommendations of your own on how to get ready for this movie, I'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to sound off down below in the comments section with your recommendations of what movies to watch to get primed and ready for Godzilla King of the Monsters. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend if I don't see you, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.